All right, so I'm going to give a little statement and then I can take a few questions. First of all, just to let everyone know about the incident, at a sentencing hearing for Mr. Redden on January 4th. Was it January 4th? It was January 3rd yesterday. Today's the 4th. Sentencing hearing on January 3rd on the charge of attempt battery with substantial bodily harm. Mr. Redden attacked Judge Mary Kay Holthus. Judge Holthus was injured and received medical attention and has been released. She remains sore and stiff, but thankful it was not more severe. Her marshal was transported to the hospital, treated for a head injury and released. His injuries are still being treated. His name is Shane Brandon. The law clerk, Michael Lasso, received medical attention and was released. He received hand abrasions. We commend the heroic acts of Judge Holthus' staff, law enforcement, and all others who subdued the defendant. Judge Holthus wanted me to convey a statement. She wanted me to thank all of the well-wishers and others who have expressed concern for her and her staff. She is extremely grateful for those who took brave action during the attack. I just want to make sure that the public is aware that the courthouse is a safe place to be. This was a very unique situation, and we're doing what we can to continue to maintain the integrity of the court and the safety that we have here. I'll take a few questions if you have them. Yes?
How's everyone doing emotionally after this? Obviously very traumatic for everyone involved.
As far as the emotional resilience, we do have a wellness program here at the court that Judge Alf has been the head of for the past 18 months. We are already in the process. We've authorized crisis services for staff and for the judge if the need arises. We have a traumatologist that we've been in contact with. So that's being provided if they so desire.
Judge, have you identified any changes to security measures for defendants who are out of custody and appearing in court?
So this is a very unique situation that, as far as I know, has never happened before with somebody supermaning over a judicial bench. Since yesterday, we've met with our security contractor to bring in additional security personnel to support courtroom coverage. We've notified Clark County management that there's a need for additional marshal positions in our high-risk calendars. We're already working with Clark County Real Property Management to evaluate courtrooms and identify if there are any necessary improvements. So we're already on top of doing everything we can to make this as safe as possible for everyone. Yes?
You said that you're looking at hiring more marshals. Is there a shortage of marshals right now?
There's always a shortage of marshals. We think that there could always be an increased security presence that would be better for the courthouse.
How many marshals are in a courtroom?
Generally, we have one marshal in a courtroom. Sometimes there are two, sometimes there are more, but generally there's one.
To what extent do the marshals across the various judicial districts coordinate, collaborate, techniques, support, training, etc.?
I don't know that I can answer that in detail, but I know that they do coordinate and collaborate with the other marshals. We have one marshal division, and they're all trained similarly. They have the same support network and same supervisory network. I know we transfer people between the family courthouse and our courthouse when the need arises. So there's coordination.
Thank you, Chris.
So if there was an increase in marshals in the courtroom, do you think this could have been prevented?
I don't know what could have prevented this. I mean, I think that we are looking at every opportunity we can to make things better. I don't know if an additional marshal could have prevented it or not, but if we could get additional marshals in the courtroom, we think that would always be better for the court, for the staff we have here, and for the public.
Two questions. How many more marshals are you looking to add in each courtroom?
I don't know that there's a definitive number for that. We would like to have a second marshal be available, at least for criminal calendars. That's part of the reason that we've met with our security contractor, so that we can try to put a second person in the courtrooms as often as we can.
And Judge Holthus has been checked out. She's out. When do you expect her to be back at work?
She was back at work today.
Good for her.
So do we know how tall this individual is?
I've seen the same video that you guys have. That's all I know. I don't have any description of it, sorry.
In terms of those who did jump into action, it was really, heroic to see, especially the clerk. I mean, maybe you could speak a little bit on that, on those who did, jump into action to protect the judge specifically.
Well, I think this Michael Lasso, her law clerk, was probably the primary person that pulled the defendant off of her and probably kept her from having more severe injuries. So we commend him for that and his heroic actions.
Asking this because in the video that we've all seen, it's kind of hard to make out, but was the marshal standing close enough to the defendant, or was he following protocol as to where he was standing in the courtroom?
I believe that the marshal was right behind the defendant, probably getting ready to put handcuffs on him and remand him, and this individual just, he moved too quick, and I think the marshal was right behind him, just couldn't get to him.
A lot of people have talked about his criminal history. Do you think that he should have already been behind bars and maybe not have gotten so many passes?
That's not really a question that I feel comfortable answering. As far as I know, I was never one of the judges that was involved in the sentencing of a prior case. I don't have any comment on that.
So what exactly is he going to be charged with now?
Let me see if I have that. His new charges, he's going to be, he's being charged with battery on a protected person resulting in substantial bodily harm, two other counts of battery on a protected person, and one count of simple battery. My understanding is because there are 4 individuals that were involved.
So what are the maximum, sentencing for those charges? And from our understanding, he was asking for probation, and that was being denied, even though what she was about to sentence him to before he was attacked.
So Judge Holthus is going to go forward with the sentencing hearing on, I believe it's the 8th at 9:30. Now, I don't know exactly what the sentence that she planned on handing down was, but I anticipate that it'll be the same as what she gives on the 8th.
So she will be handling that case again?
She'll handle the sentencing.
I have to access. So the judge made a comment right before the strike about something to the fact that he's going to be receiving something different now. Was that appropriate? Is that appropriate for her to say?
I think every judge has their own discretion how they, what they say to an individual in court. I think that what she was saying, I think they were asking for probation, and she was saying that something different was appropriate in this case. I think that's what caused him to jump over the table.
You mentioned the word unique, how this is pretty unique. You've never seen it before. Have you seen anybody even come close to lunging forward, or even maybe on another jurisdiction on YouTube or something?
Well, I'm sure you guys have seen all the YouTube videos, and there's plenty of instances where somebody is, becomes rowdy in the courtroom, and the marshals generally are able to subdue them. This is the first one I've seen where somebody supermaned over the judicial bench.
Can you give us an idea of what the courtroom will look like on the 8th with Redden and Judge Holthus? The security measures that will be implemented?
I don't know yet. We're still in the process of figuring out what needs to be done to make the court as safe as possible. But that's our whole goal, is to maintain the public trust and confidence in the court system, and let people know that it is a safe place to be, and this is not going to happen again. We're taking whatever steps that we can to make sure that something like this doesn't happen in the future.
To your knowledge, this is the first time that this has happened in this courthouse and to this judge?
My knowledge, it's the first time it's happened anywhere. I've never seen a video of somebody diving across a court bench like that before. So, one more question?
So as a chief, what will be your message to some of the other judges?
My message to the other judges is that we're going to do everything we can to make this a safe place for not only for the for the judges, but for their staff and for the public. That's our goal, is to make the courthouse the safest as we can. Thank you very much for your time, folks.